guys, so today we're back to talk about Fast and Furious 5, or Fast 5 as it's canonically called. This was really good, like not even for a Fast and Furious film, like as a general action film. This was really great. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm miles better than the last one. My last review I said that Fast and Furious 4 was definitely the weakest in the franchise so far, and they've gone from the weakest to probably the best in the franchise so far. It's great. Like, I know all the people that are watching this have probably already seen these films and were like, Amy, get to number 5, it's going to get better after that. You know, the first 4 are just kind of the introduction ones. Fast 5 is the best one, let's be real. It's great. This one is about Brian and Dom basically trying to pull off a heist, is the basic premise of the film. They've escaped from police. They obviously get Dom out of prison, as we predicted in the last one. They, you know, even from the beginnings, when they're breaking him out of the prison bus, he drives under a literally flaming bus that flips over the top of the car. Like, you're not getting that in Fast and Furious 1 when it's just about street racing. Like, you know, like even from the first action scene, you know, like clearly they upped the budget and they've got way more money to spend on ridiculous stuff in this film. It's done off the prison bus, and then they recruit a team of all the characters that have been in the previous films. It's almost like the Avengers, this film. Like, where they're getting people from different films. You know, it almost feels like a Fast and Furious Avengers film, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. But they bring back the 2 Spanish guys, I can't remember their names off the top of my head, from Fast and Furious 4. They bring back Ludacris and Tyrese from... no, what's his name? They bring back Ludacris and Roman from Too Fast Too Furious, which I was glad to see because that was before this one. That was my favourite one so far. They bring back Gal Gadot from the last film. Mia gets more involved in this one compared to the other one. She does the driving. Han is back in this one from Tokyo Drift. It really is just a bit of everybody from every film in this one. And they all come together to form, I guess, you know, the best team possible to pull off this heist. Because they're, you know, theoretically trying to rob a man of $100 million, which is a lot of money. You know, that is like ridiculous money. I'll talk about how they do that in a minute. But I obviously have to talk about one of the other highlights of this film. The Rock is in this film now as Hobbs. He is a police officer that's trying to hunt down Brian and Dom and their little gang. And he's actually a really great addition to the... I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of The Rock as an actor in other stuff that he's been in. I think he's always just kind of playing himself, if that makes sense. But I love his just like take no shit attitude in this film. He just will, like, he doesn't care. And they write, he has the most ridiculous lines. And just even for the first scene, you know that he's, you know, I assume, I'm hoping at least, that he's in the next couple of films. I know they've even made a spin-off film about him, which I'll talk about in a couple of weeks. But he's just great. He just really is good. I don't know whether there's some sort of past between Dom and Hobbs. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll find out in the late, you know, in maybe 6 or 7. But he really does work well. He adds a lot of humour. He adds a lot of ridiculousness. Like, he jumps straight through a window at one point, like you know, a complete glass window, like it's nothing. He gets shot, I think, at one point, and just shrugs it off like it's nothing. I think you can definitely tell with this one that, one, they obviously got a bigger budget, and 2, they were kind of getting into the idea of what people actually want from these films. They do want the street racing, which you get in this one, but they also just want the ridiculous, over-the-top car stunts, which are very prevalent in this film. So like I say, they've definitely got a lot more budget, and there's more stunts in this film. Like, I'm just going to talk about the ending, because it's not really, I'm not really spoiling it. Like I said in the last one, everybody's already seen these films. Like, you know, this one is 10 years old, so the other ones are like nearly 20 years old. But they drag a safe, which, like, I kind of knew going in, because I know a lot of people like this one. I kind of knew, oh, they steal a safe and they drag a safe from the bank to get $100 million. But they literally drag it down. The amount of destruction they cause with that safe is ridiculous. Like, I would love somebody to do like a body count of how many people they actually kill with that safe, because they drag it through buildings, they drag it down a motorway, they drag it through like a busy you know, busy freeways and streets. It's ridiculous. But I loved it. I loved it. And, you know, I guess the plot twist that they get away with the money at the end, I actually, because they go back and show it, I actually didn't realise that when it was empty. It kind of actually did take me by surprise, which I didn't expect in a Fast and Furious film, you know. They're sort of designed to be kind of, the earlier ones are designed to be a bit more sort of predictable and you can kind of see where they're going. But this one, like when they actually got away with the fake safe that they changed and the $100 million, I was kind of like, yeah, go on, they did it. Like, you know, excited for the characters, which I didn't expect, you know, at the beginning of these films. The writers really knew what they were doing with this one, because, like I've said before, this is almost like a, I don't know how to call it, transitional film into the bigger sort of the action pieces and the more fighting, and as opposed to the street racing. I'm hoping the street racing is still in it. I assume it's not going to be as much. It'll probably be like one race per film, as opposed to sort of, you know, like 4 or 5 races per film. But I think this one is really, really good and definitely worth a watch. Even if you're not necessarily big into Fast and Furious films, like I know you probably won't get as many of the, you know, who all these characters are from the previous films. But I still think just as a general heist / action film, this one really, really works well. It's also got a little cheeky mid-credits scene, which was a bit weird because I don't usually watch the credits, but, you know, I'd heard, oh, watch the credits as a mid-credits scene, which is weird for a Fast and Furious film. But, you know, I guess maybe they're going to start having mid-credit scenes every film now, I'm not too sure. I like the idea of The Rock or Hobbs letting them go at the end, and giving them kind of like, because they helped him out, and they sort of team up at the end. He gives them a 24-hour window before he sort of comes chasing after them, which I thought was a good little idea, because he obviously, he didn't want to arrest them because they helped him capture the bad guys, but also, you know, as police officers he has to do what he has to do. So I'm hoping that will continue into Fast 6, or whatever it's called, Fast and Furious 6. That he, you know, it'll be him then chasing them down and trying to maybe track them across the world, which would be really interesting. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to spoil the mid-credits scene in case you've not seen it, but I'll reference it in the next film because I'm assuming it's going to come into play. So overall, I've really enjoyed this one. It's the best one so far. A nice, good old-fashioned heist movie, and, you know, introducing the Rock to the film and bringing all the other characters back from the other film. It really, really raises the stakes and works really well. Like I said, they clearly have a bigger budget. They're not afraid to do these big, ridiculous action set pieces now, which I think really, really works in the film's favour to kind of entice viewers to watch it more, because now they're kind of known for these ridiculous stunts as opposed to the street racing, which, you know, they originally started out as. In this film, the relationships are strengthened. You know, it sets up the next film, which is good, and, you know, in a weird way, they all kind of get a happy ending at the end of the film, which is really, really nice to see for a Fast and Furious film. Most of them end, you know, in some sort of sombre tone, but they all got away with the money and got off scot-free, and now they're living on a tropical island. So this is probably the best one. So like I say, so now the ranking is probably 5, 2, 3, 1, 4. I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10. I don't think any of them are ever going to get 10 out of 10s because none of them, you know, masterpieces. But I would give this one a solid 8 out of 10, even if you're not a big Fast and Furious fan, even if you just want a nice action film. I actually would put this one on because, you know, like I've said, you won't get some of the references, you won't get some of the characters and, you know, who they are from the previous films, but it's still a really, really good heist film. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend this one, and I'm looking forward to watching Fast and Furious 6 and seeing how even more ridiculous it's probably going to get. So I will see you next time, and enjoy the rest of your day, and hope you enjoyed the review. Bye!